Welcome to the Terror Dome. Happy Saturday to everybody that's out there. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Let me do my shout out so I can make fun of niggas going to jail. Ha ha. All right, so Sun Girl is here. Tracy Neal is here. Leo Squad member 93 is here. Hi, Skytex. Jolay is here. Sugarberry's here. Gravity Onyx is here. Shan is in the building. Hello, back to you. Me Too Great is here. No, it says Miss Too Great is here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being great. K Ma is here. Lovely Me is here. Hey Merlot. Oracle of Righteousness, how are you? Satin Doll and Medusa's in the building. Aquarius Shade. Man, Saturday finna be lit. Coco Fit. I did not rhyme that on purpose. That was crazy as fuck how that just went down. Hey Blossom. Fifi Dobson is here. Let's go. So you ladies need to buy some stock in the jails because all your favorite social media dusties is getting their asses locked up. Now, I want to bring up something that's very, very sad. Y'all, these men, dusties, whatever you want to call them, think you're stupid as fuck. Okay? If you're wondering about who I'm talking about, one Mr. Kwame Brown, who will be referred to as KB from here on out because he's a little effeminate and kind of bitchy and catty, and I don't want to get into it with him. All right? I don't. Well, he sat on his channel and told you guys that his baby mama, one of you mammies out here, got him locked up. Baby mama shit. Well, I have to question if that's the reason why he was actually locked up. Baby mama shit is usually child support. It's kind of civil and criminal a little bit, but it's not like a federal call the SWAT team case. Sir, your dog was tased during this warrant. This has got to be the most gangster child support situation I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Not only was your dog tased, you were disarmed on your own property. Very, very interesting for baby mama shit. Not only that, the cops got your computers. Why do they have your computers? For some baby mama shit. I'm going to share my screen because cops seize computers for baby mama stuff now. Let's ask a lawyer reasons why you get your goddamn computer taken or your device taken or whatever. Because it ain't no baby mama shit. All right. 4 scenarios where police can legally search your computer. Let's go.
People ask me, when are the police allowed to search my computers? And when I say computers, I'm talking about your desktop, your laptop, your tablets, external hard drives, zip drives, even your smartphone. And the answer is that generally speaking, there's only 4 situations where the cops are allowed to search your computer. The first is if they have a valid search warrant. But even then, we can often challenge the search warrant itself in court and get the search thrown out. The second situation is if you consent, if you agree to let the police search your computer. And I tell people, never, ever consent to let the police search your computers. Because even if you think that you have nothing to hide, you never know how the authorities may try to use your data against you. The third situation where cops are allowed to search your computers is at the border or at airports. If you cross the border or you go to the airport, the police have said that you have a lesser expectation of privacy. And many times the police are allowed to search without a warrant. The fourth situation is emergency circumstance.
Uh-oh. Out of all of those 4 things, I'm speculating here that may be reason number 4 that your computers got taken. What emergency? I'm not sure. Don't care. But what I'm going to need you to do is quit lying to your audience full of mammies that's trying to get their life right so they can land one of you dusty motherfuckers. Okay? I'm calling bullshit. They didn't come and tase your pooch, disarm you, and take your computers because your baby mama mad. I'm sorry, I'm not going for that. Anything to add, Miss L, or am I reaching here?
No, you saying it right. You know, people don't like to admit when they fuck up. It always got to be somebody else's fault.
I've never seen a child support case or anything like that where they come and take your computers. So if y'all think this video was bad, there's another lawyer who says there's only 2 reasons why the cops will take your goddamn computer. Let's pull the receipt. Let me call it a device, laptop, phone, whatever. Because this can be kind of triggering too. Can the police confiscate my computer? Why, yes, Mr. Dusty, they can confiscate your computer. And this lawyer, Ned Barnett, said there are 2 reasons for law enforcement to confiscate your computer: collection of evidence or civil assets forfeiture. Now, here's the deal with civil asset forfeiture. This motherfucker sits on his platform all day long telling you he's flush with cash. So he shouldn't have any outstanding civil assets that he owes anybody, right? He got money all over the place. He used to play basketball. He used to do all this shit. He is laced with money. Collection of evidence sound like it fit more. It says if the police are investigating you for fraud, child, not gonna read that word. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Or any crime where evidence might be found on your computer, the police may seize your computer. I'm just asking for stuff to make sense. Don't let these motherfuckers sit in front of that microphone and tell you they baby mama was the reason their dog got tased, their laptop was seized, and they were disarmed on their own fucking property. Divested OG, jump in here.
I would like to know more. It's fishy, of course. I think any person with a critical thinking cap on would wonder which of these he was involved with. But it sounds like something truly criminal if they tased your dog, took your computer without your consent. Then that means something. They're hoping to find something on there.
That means they're conducting an investigation. That's what that means. If it walk like a duck and quack like a duck, bitch, it's Daffy. It's Daffy all day. They're not coming to get your shit like this because you owe a couple of $1,000s in child support. They might come and take your license. You can't drive nowhere, sure. But they not coming up there on no violent shit because you didn't pay your child support.
Obviously, they had a warrant to do that.
Clearly. And here's the other thing. My troll ass was looking around because I live in the same state with this Dusty. And they kept moving him from system to system to system to system. And so a lot of people couldn't find him. There was a Dusty that said, he wasn't arrested. He just fooling y'all. Well, I found him. Stop, share, and then share again. Couldn't get the goddamn mugshot, but we got him up here. Let's go. All you got to do is put his raggedy ass name. Change the date to yesterday. Boom. Let's go. What'd that say? Kwame Hassani Brown, Black African American male, 39 years old. Now, where it says charged, it says arrested for another agency. That means that there's warrants out here for you. I predict that he will be doing some Fed time because he kept changing from one system to the next. What's going on? Your favorite social media assholes are being arrested. And y'all out here going natural, talking feminine, and lying about your kids so you can land one of these? I just want to know. And I want to know so bad that if you're a follower of KB, let me give you the link so you can tell me why you a Dustiana. Because I don't and will not talk to Dusties. Boom, there it is. Okay. We already had Brother Polite. Now we have Kwame. While I'm waiting for somebody to come defend Kwame and say it was his baby mama fault, I want to show you guys something else. Remember we went live last time and we said, oh, it won't skip a beat. Brother Polite is still going to have followers. Well, it's worse, y'all. We on some receipt shit today. It's worse. Not only did he not lose any followers, he gained about 5,000 followers.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
gosh.
No.
Please, no.
Do you understand what I'm telling you? 310,000 followers. It was hovering at around 300,000 when he first did the nasty. But now, since they confirmed that he's nasty, he got more followers. This is Blackistan. This is what I'm talking about. Right here. I told y'all he would not be losing any followers. Not only that, look at this disgusting bitches that know what he's going through, but showed up.
I'm in the club, snatching chicks. I need a real dub. Come on, ma. That ratchet shit. I'm a Brooklyn nigga. Get it crackin' shit. Hat match shirt, pants match kids. Baddies galore. Dough drop in. She got her hands on the floor.
She making sure she in that goddamn camera. Yeah, show me. Show me. I need people to know how much of a fucking mammy I am. Okay? So let's get the mammies out the way.
He ugly as hell.
He is ugly as fuck. It's almost. Whoop,
I
almost
don't even
went
know
there.
nobody
The
can look at
glasses
him.
didn't help. He's still super ugly.
Honey
Like
bunny.
Oh,
Listen. This is his video that he made to his followers, his loyal followers, the ones that don't believe he would do nothing like that, the ones that know he's just trying to help the black community, the ones that's trying to help the black family, you know, the ones that wouldn't believe no shit like that. Of course, he did this shit for 40 minutes and he was the victim the whole time, but fuck him. Let's look at the women in his comment section. Of course, the Dusties are gonna, you know, they're gonna support, but I'm more interested in the desperation of these mammies in this comment section. I can't. Look at all the support. I can't. First one. Her name is Nordette 35. You know, you don't even have to say anything. We're with you, King.
Ooh.
We predicted that this was going to happen. That 14-year-old girl means absolutely nothing. And if you are within earshot and you happen to have a set of tits and a vagina, you don't mean anything to that community either. Okay? Here's another mammy defending him. He stated in the beginning of his live, he can't talk because of his attorneys. In other words, the case is in action and he cannot speak. This is the women we dealing with. Y'all, they're more dangerous than these motherfuckers here. Because who do you think helped? How did Polite have access to that little girl? Divested OG, who gave her access? Gave him access, rather.
Whew.
Her mother. Her mother. Here's another one. I'm going to say this, and I don't care who. Now, this is a woman talking. I don't care who don't like it. Stay away from single mothers, especially ones with daughters. Threw the girl right up under the bus.
Oh my gosh.
It's just not worth it.
It's never their fault. She made him do it. No accountability at all.
He said,
and that's why the other ones keep doing what they're doing, because they see, you know, the regular Dusties are going to stay dusty, and then there's the super Dusties who apparently have some kind of notoriety. They keep getting away with this crap.
Y'all buy y'all some stock in the prisons, because, honey, that's where the money gonna be, because these motherfuckers gonna continue to go to jail. There is DNA evidence on this motherfucker. There's no way. If you are a woman, if you are a human being, you should be defending this. Okay, welcome to the panel, Minty.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
I want to tell y'all that I never talk about this, but I am. I was once acquainted with Polite and his family. I met them when I was I want to say I was like 21, and he's a year older than me. I want to say that I know I tell my story a lot about coming from abandonment and such, and people like me become a target because they get you young, you know, especially people from the streets. And I'm gonna just say this: one of his wives is 4 years. Hey, uniquely me, is 4 years younger than him, right? Mm-hmm. And I want to let you know, when this situation happened with Polite, I cried. Not for him, I cried for the wife, because I was closely associated with her, and me and her were pregnant around the same time with our daughters. So this broke my heart, because our daughters are the same age, and I knew she orchestrated the shit. So it really made me cry. And it was hard.
Knew she orchestrated it? I mean,
I know she did, because understand, he's known her since 12. They were together for 5 years. You understand?
Yeah.
The other wife that you see, I don't want to say names, but I know that, you know, I don't know them by they blue eye being. I know they name names. The other wife you see, she's 4 years younger. It hit me. I remember asking her age, and she never would tell me her age. You understand? That means she was 15, 16 years old then, when he was messing around with her in the main wife, the bottom bitch, I call her, right? What I'm saying is, these people have tried to invite me to come with them while I was pregnant with my child, to live with them.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? And they know how to target, you know, the abandoned, the abused, the people who don't have, you know, who feel unloved. This is how you can get so caught up with that, and I'll make no excuse for no woman, especially if you got a girl child and then you went and had another baby. It's clear that this is a brothel. It's clear that this is a whole pimp.
Yes.
And you had another baby. I literally wanted to call her personally and say what I had to say, because I was crying. And in my spirit, I was like, yo, you had the control where y'all could have did y'all whole pimp shit and y'all could have left the kids out of it. But when I thought about it, one of the wives is 4 years younger. And he was, remember the other one he had with the 2 daughters? I don't know how long you've been following him. There was another one that was around even then with the 2 little girls. I remember when they were babies. And when he was around them, I already would feel some type of way that even when they would invite me to places, something in me would never just go. I never felt comfortable with that. Like, I'm a mother. No man is around my daughter to that capacity, especially without my supervision. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get too personal, because I'm gonna get too emotional. But I know he going down for a long fucking time, a long time. And what makes me more mad is the woman. Where's the proof, sweetheart?
Hold on a second.
Oh my gosh! Don't make me go off. I know them personally.
The link and come up here and ask, where's the proof? You're not gonna sit your ass down there and troll like that. Every time somebody talks about a girl being hurt, you motherfuckers think that shit is funny and time to troll.
Yeah.
And the reason I started going live on Saturday night, because I wanted to show y'all these motherfuckers don't have a life. What do you do on Saturday? You be with your boo. You do your thing. You know, they always have time. Where's the proof that you ain't a piece of shit? That's what I'm asking. Go ahead and come up here. The link is in the chat. Go ahead, Aminti.
See, that hurts my heart because, see, this is why I did not want to talk, because this is what happens. I didn't even want to say anything, I really didn't, but my heart was hurting. I woke up crying because I know what's going to happen to this man, and I more so know what's going to happen to the main woman, and the main wife.
Yeah.
That's what hurt me. Like, girl, they're going to take your children from you and they're going to put him away. They're going to find out that you allowed this man to do this shit to other people's babies. I don't care if other women were selling their children to this man in the sex industry. You still have a boundary. That's what makes me upset about this shit. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I want y'all to understand this is personal for me because I was acquainted with these people. I was pregnant with my daughter around them, had my baby and was around these people. Imagine if I would have hung out with them. Y'all would have had videos of me dancing, twerking, and I have to sit here and explain to myself to y'all. That would have been crazy for me.
I'm glad you dodged the bullet because from what I understand, he's very manipulative. He dropped out of school, but he's very, very he's good with words. I'll just put it like that.
He's a fucking narcissist.
Most narcissists are very good with words. They know how to convince you of some shit that's not happening, but it's right in front of you. And they'll look at you like you are nuts. That's not happening. I don't care what you see. You know I'm a genius. You know I'm good. You know I'm smart. They do that type of shit. Yes, he's indeed a fucking narcissist. If he's textbook narcissist, if you ask me.
And I want to add something too. He's not from YouTube. He started as someone in the community that was teaching and had his own stores. He already had his popularity because I even know Sanetta too. Sanetta and all these different people were all connected. And then that is how it all happened where, he ended up on YouTube because he didn't even come on social media. But once he got on social media, that's when he really started. But I know that the main wife was the one who wanted that flashy life, money, cars. I don't know if you ever seen her page, but it's hurtful, man. The women make me so upset with this shit, man. My daughter is the same age.
They want you so bad. How on earth? I don't care what you do sexually, what your preference is or whatever. But at some point, don't you want somebody to love you and you be special to that person? How on earth can you rectify having 6 sister wives with this motherfucker that's parading around other women? Or not even y'all. He's not parading y'all around. He's parading around women that aren't y'all. That is I can't dig it at all. I can't even put myself in that position mentally.
Well, that's why they want black women to have such low self-esteem, because that piece of shit with the glasses on, and he's got sister wives? You gotta be kidding me. I can't even believe he got, hell, I don't even think he should get a midget. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Well, Miss, in the second box, it happens because everybody was associated very young. As like I said, I was 21. The wife and me are the same age. The other girl is 4 years younger. And then there was that other one with the 2 babies. You see how the bonding starts there? The familiarity, it's deeper than that. It's something that starts young. I mean, I'm not discrediting what you're saying. I'm just saying from my experience and what I see, because even someone like me could have fell into that if I was not careful. You understand?
I do understand the grooming, because basically that's what it is. It's criminals grooming prey.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. And I know I don't understand, but the black community doesn't love its girls enough.
No, they hate the girls.
To take care of them so that they don't go out looking for pieces of shit with glasses on and calling yourself a sister wife.
They hate the girls. There is no love. They hate the girls. You said they don't love them enough. They have no love.
They've never
It is
loved them.
absolute hate. And Cherry Crush, if Lexus X is out there, click the link, Lex. Welcome to the panel, Unapologetic.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Well, y'all know I love to drag the niggas, but I'm gonna drag these bitches for a second.
Please
Imagine
do.
having so much low self-esteem. Well, no self-esteem at all. Being a bum ass bitch, knowing this man is knowing he's a predator, he's a victim blamer, but you're like, no, I'm gonna make sure my child is around him. You know, they know that man a rapist. Like, come on, they know that man like kids. Like she said, she was 21. The other girl was way underage then. That's sick.
One of them said that he met them when she was 12 years old. Aminti, can you verify that?
Yes, they were friends. They met at 12 years
Wow.
old, and they were friends. They met at 12. They were friends for 5 years before they got together.
Mhm.
So he's only a year, like I said, he's only a year older than us.
Yeah. See, bitches
These
like
guys
this
don't
will
know
come.
how to be men. They don't even know how to be human beings. I don't understand how they could. I don't even think they could be good friends to anybody.
They
Anybody.
can't. They can't. Go ahead,
They don't know what that
unapologetic.
is.
Like, none of the mammies and none of these pick me ass bitches will get up here and like try to defend his ass, but they want to get in comments or they want to go on Clubhouse and tell other black women why they shouldn't be talking to white people.
Right.
But y'all protecting, y'all saying, oh, don't talk about this shit outside our community. Y'all know this shit happened. These people know this shit is happening. It's being recorded. We just saying it.
Can we talk how stupid that is, though? Like, we live in proximity to other people. Other people see our nonsense, whether we quote unquote talk about it in front of them. They be in our spaces. But as for these women, I feel that a lot of them were molested, and it's just like, how can you put another individual to pain? You got to be some sick, twisted individual. In fact, I think it's a terminology for it. You know, I can't think of it right now. But yeah,
Let me add this person.
no, it's a.
Are you ashy or are you divested? Child support.
I just wanted to come on here because I heard you guys talking about victims' resentment,
Okay.
and it's very common. I am divested, but anyway, I am also super excited to be on the panel because I super love your channel. But yes,
Thank you.
it's so funny because before all of this came out, I was reading this article about how a lot of people, especially Black men who get infected with HIV and AIDS, they will feel like because they were infected and they have to suffer with it and they can't get rid of it, now it's appropriate for them to cause other people to suffer in a way to get back at society or get even. And unfortunately, you see that a lot with victims where they perpetuate the cycle in an attempt to regain some control or what they feel like is control. So I unfortunately am not surprised by the mammy behavior at all.
Yeah, me either. They've been doing this for years. Even when Tina Turner was a young girl, you remember her mother had to go up to the studio with Tina because she was so young and Ike was already preying on her. This has been happening all through history. Polite and these motherfuckers, and once I verify what KB has done, none of this shit is new. And everything is your fault. Okay, remember that. Go ahead,
My
Divesty
grandmother
OG.
was one. She was a big one. My grandmother was a big mammy. And in fact, she let her husband pimp out her own daughter.
Mm.
She let her husband sleep with the light-skinned one.
Lord,
and
have
instead
mercy.
of saying, F this, I will blow you through with this rifle, she let it occur. And then she took beatings of her own. Okay?
I remember something. In one of the speeches they were having. They will always say to women they should date men at least 7 years older than them. They used to say that shit all the time.
And I bet the men were 22
Now,
trying
this
to
man
get
was
at
old.
motherfuckers that was younger than them. They always listen. Let's just keep it real. In a lot of those people's religions, they worship pedophiles. Dead ass serious. Some of their most prominent figures were with young girls when they walked the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Bonita Applebaum. Real talk. Anyway, Back on you, Divested OG. Did she walk away? It's on you, unapologetic. It's hard to talk up here. It's real hard without to try to not say stuff that you're not supposed to say up here.
It is, especially when we doing this shit, because these men don't even care. These women and these men don't even care. Like, we had Nick Knox in the other panel coming and laughing at the girls, but y'all still want to protect them. Those are your kings. Those are your STD having ass kings.
You remember on the other screen, the girl called that motherfucker. She called Polite a king. I know that you're gonna be vindicated. I know that you didn't do this.
He's not gonna be vindicated because there's semen on her in 6 different spots, and they did a rape kit and they found it inside her. Come on, now.
He also
put a dumb bitch.
Fingers down her throat too because
to make her throw up.
Yeah, because she was about to die. She overdosed.
Ugh,
wow.
These niggas, I want to blow all they do rags.
Have y'all ever noticed?
No, but
Go ahead.
Have we ever noticed what?
Yeah.
These Black male leaders, it's always some sexual degeneracy involved with them. Like, always.
You have to think about it. If you're a Black male, right, and you are wanting to be a leader, everybody should be suspicious of you because we all know Black men don't like Black people. So if he jumping his ass up here, want to be a Black leader, a teacher, a scout, a mentor, I would side eye him because they don't like Black children. They definitely hate Black girls. I mean, come on. That right there alone should make you side eye him. It's like, why do you want to be around kids so bad, homeboy? Why? I think I already know why. And I can't wait for the rest of this other shit to come out on your other social media jailbird.
Right.
Because he's lying. He's lying his ass off.
I know of who's that one with the one lock in his hair? What's his name? Divested Elliott with the one lock. Mm-hmm. I got some tea on him. He had a woman he was dealing with her and her damn 14-year-old daughter was in love with him.
That one that tried to sing that damn song with that big one fat lock and the rest of his hair shade off.
Yes, him. Yeah. Yeah, I got the gag on. I'm gonna tea on him. Yeah.
He's supposed to be the realest one over there. What the fuck did he do?
I just told you he was fucking somebody's 14-year-old daughter and the little girl was in love with him.
Oh my God. It's the same shit. When y'all see Black men with little girls, don't y'all get this see, I'm getting choked up. Don't y'all get this feeling in the pit of your stomach? Every time I see one with a little girl, I instantly think that something inappropriate is going on. Right. Because the fact of the matter is they don't like Black women and they don't like anything that comes out of a Black woman's vagina. Right. Point blank, period.
Right. They don't even they don't like themselves. Of course, they're not going to like your kids or you. Like,
so
I see them hold hands with their light-skinned daughters, their little curly hair, light-skinned daughters. They be holding their hands real tight when they walk with them. That's the one I watch.
Y'all know Vanity, Prince's ex-girlfriend, her book, she goes into detail about her dad having this obsession with mixed kids, the psychological damage it did to her, and her being repeatedly raped by him throughout. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Divested. I'm going to say the R word. Hard by him, her own father. Can you believe that for many years?
I could believe it. None of shit surprises me anymore.
Unfortunately, it's not a surprise at all because it's our culture. It is the unfortunate culture we have been saddled with. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but don't you think it's so funny how we had our own faith in the motherland that did not really abide by this sort of behavior? But how funny and how quickly we released those beliefs which valued and protected women, that saw women as equals, as creators, as givers of life. We rejected that for Abrahamic religions that put women at the bottom of the totem pole. Why do you think that is? Because Black men don't really mind as a culture being at the bottom if that means they can be on top of Black women and children, on top literally or figuratively, unfortunately.
Black women went along with that shit because those were some prehistoric ass mammies back then when all this shit started. They
Not
were.
prehistoric,
They were
man.
some prehistoric ass mammies. These
I
motherfuckers
am
built
weak on you, TJ.
I want to add
shit.
something.
You think a Dusty ain't new? Nigga, a mammy ain't new either. They ain't new either. They had to be the ones that were the handmaidens. Really, honestly, a Dusty can't ravage through the black community without the assistance of the mammy. How could he?
I want to add something. So, in Africa, the age of consent is 12. And I have to go here. A lot of y'all don't know this, but my family migrated. My great grandmother migrated here from Cuba. So that's my family bloodline. And I can tell you something. These African Americans, no offense, y'all, and these Africans, this is why they connect with them. Because them damn Africans over there are trifling as hell, man. They trifling. Their age of consent is 12. We know they have resources, all kind of stuff, and the tiniest men in the world, the Asian man runs over them, and I'm not going to be too long, but this is why they resonate with Africa, because they really trifling like those Africans. And again, no offense to anybody, but y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we got some people that follow the page that are from
Nothing
Africa, and they vouch for that
was
too.
the cradle of colonization, you know? Like, what? How can anybody deny it?
Yeah, we got some African women that follow us, and honey, they vouch for the shit all the time, especially in Discord. They come on telling some stories that's off the goddamn chain.
Yeah, and it makes you think, it makes you wonder that this is why they put y'all enslaved. The story I've been telling, I just don't believe it, because in the European countries, the age of consent is literally 16 or older. Like, it's not 12. And these are where it's not mostly not black men, but in Africa it's 12. Like, this is why they enslaved them. And
I honestly think 16 is too goddamn young too. Some of these United States that have the age of consent at 16, shame on them too.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree too. Because you're not even really grown when your ass 18 either. You still think like a child when you 18.
I agree. But it ain't 12.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I'm just saying that all of that shit don't make sense though, because even when you are supposedly legally grown at 18, your mind is still not grown at 18. We all know how immature we was when we think back to ourselves at 18 and how we used to think. Because I know for a fact, I didn't think the same when I was 18 to 21 to 25.
Yeah, I was abandoned and thrown out at 18, 19. So I know the pain of that. And I was not ready for life in that capacity. And that's how I could have become a victim to going to this person y'all are talking about. You see what I'm saying? Taking it back home again. But girl, it's too much. I'm hurt. I'm crying. That's what the hell I'm doing.
I understand the pain, but I'm so happy you did not go there. I am so proud that you thought about yourself and your baby first. Kudos to you for surviving.
Girl, I was retarded. I was like, yeah, they want me to live with them. And the baby father was like, don't you know that's pimping? And my friend was like, don't you know that's a pimp? If he's saying you got to have money, she got to have money, y'all put your money together. I was like, yo.
Oh, God, no. And that's why it's so easy to pray, because families throw us out. They abandon us financially. Okay. They abandon us in so many ways. And these fruitcakes, they know this.
Yeah.
They know this. So the black community just raise their girls to be sitting ducks. Pigs for the slaughter.
Nelly, your device is not connected. I see you back there, but you got to press allow on your StreamYard app. But yeah, how you going to tell somebody they're not old enough to buy a pack of cigarettes, but they're old enough to engage in activity that can possibly turn them into a parent?
Or worse.
And I agree. And I just think it's so funny how somehow it's always been the black daughter's fault. Even on the plantation, it was the black daughter's fault for being fast. If you got touched by a family member or somebody, it's always, what did you do in the black community? And I definitely see why sis is crying, because it really just feels like it could almost be you at any time. It really just looks like, wow, like they're just looking for the opportunity to prey on you as soon as possible. And there's no code, there's no limit, there's no level that's not okay. And then to top it all off, you'll have women in your own community. You finally confide in them and you tell them that you're being abused and it's your fault. They never want to hold these men accountable because then they would lose access to them. But the thing that really gets me about these pick me mammies, if you want access to these men, why don't you get them some therapy to help them stop being attracted to children? If there's so many good men out here, but they're just attracted to children, then why don't you help them not do that? Why don't you keep them away from kids? Why don't you call the cops on them so they can face some consequences for their actions instead of trying to absolve them of responsibility over some stuff that went down before you were born?
Because
if
having a
men-
black
That's the
man,
thing, though. That's
Go
the
ahead,
thing. They can't
unapologetic.
be-
like because having a black man is more important than their kids.
Period.
That's the reason.
But that's
They would rather have
but
their
what-
man than their kids.
you
Okay,
can't
so-
rehabilitate a
You
pedophile.
can't. You can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
no, they're
You can only hold it off for so long.
no. I'm about to tell you something crazy. They could tell you're a pedophile before you're even like a certain age by your brain structure and certain like firing in your brains or something. I forgot what it's called, but it's like electrons. I'm sorry, I'm a STEM girl. I know this stuff. I'm a
Briscoe,
nerd.
you might have to leave and come back in because you keep going in and out. It's
didn't hear
real
me?
bubbly. Yeah, I can hear you, but
You hear
it's,
me
it's, it's a little choppy.
I think someone
All
has
right.
their mic on.
I get what she was saying, like, and that's true. Like the brain is different. However, when you're trying to rehabilitate a pedophile, it only holds them off from offending. Like at some point, they're gonna offend.
Yeah,
thing about
I don't think you
pedophilia-
can rehabilitate them either. Honestly,
No.
I'm for chemical castration once they offend.
Right.
Point blank,
Yep,
period.
me too.
Make that shit to where they cannot even have a
Amen,
sex
sis.
drive.
Don't even do it chemically.
Well,
definitely.
there are different types of pedophiles. There are the people who like the kids who are 10 and under. Then there are people who are like the tweenies. They like the tweenies, and 15 is a little too old. And then there's the ones who like the older kids. But as soon as those kids usually hit around 16, they're discarded. So I have an analogy for the mammies out there. You know how a guy masturbates and then he's done with the Kleenex? He's done.
Mhm.
How are
Throw
you
it
any
to the
different
side.
than that? How are you different than Kleenex? It seems like this community raising these girls to be disposable, and disposable they are if they think they are. How are you any different than Kleenex?
You're not. I don't know the context. Black men are, it says teens are not children. Well,
Yes,
to
they
me,
are.
with my
They're still
old ass,
kids.
they are children
Yes,
to me.
they are.
I
And that
mean,
must be somebody young saying that, DZ.
I don't know, but they're minors.
Teens are not children in the same way an embryo is not a baby. It's freaking semantic. Who cares? That is somebody's baby. I don't care if she's 20, 30, 40. She did not solicit that man's attention and he had no business looking at her. So who gives a flipping F if she's 13, 14, or 17? She was a baby. She did not have the capacity to participate in that, and he has his filthy DNA all over him, and I feel like they should put him in the electric chair.
And they need to take the mama in the electric chair too. Hang that bitch. Like, oh, excuse me. We need to get rid of her too.
I'm with it. Thank you, Avatar. I appreciate that. I need some context on that. If I'm trying to figure out what you was trying to say there, because teens are kids, they can't really do anything by themselves. They act grown. They talk shit to you,
She
but they
said
still
she's
kids.
17. She don't like being called a child.
Oh,
Well,
that's
honey,
why she's
grown.
saying that
still-
shit.
you're
That's
still-
why she's
you're a
saying that
teenager.
because
You're a
she
child.
don't have
I'm
no
22,
experience. That's
and the
why she's
only
saying
grown
that.
thing on me is my mouth. So sit down, Miss 17. Love you, sis. Sit down.
She that's why she talking. She don't know. She thinks she know, but she don't know yet.
I did a little digging
Yeah, I'm
with
19.
the pedophiles.
So yeah.
Y'all make sure y'all don't talk
Pardon
over each
me?
other. I think Briscoe has a delay, and then it's some shit going on with StreamYards. But when is there never something going on with StreamYard's raggedy ass.
I looked up some research on pedophiles, and the research really shows a lot. There's some research that shows that a lot of them are arrested at a certain point in development. They grow up to be grown-ups, but they are way back there in emotional development. So that's not an excuse. They know it's wrong, okay? But there's something wrong with the brain, all right. They just stopped growing at some point.
For the user, black men are. Look, I will go ahead and kick that motherfucker's ass if I seen somebody over the age of 20 talking to you. So that's pretty much, where we coming from with it. It's not that you're a baby, but 17 is still a child by law.
Girl,
So-
you still got mush for brains, sis.
Yeah,
It's okay.
girl. And I'm a mama too. My baby 14, and that's forever gonna be my baby.
Girl, I'm telling you, because I wish a motherfucker would. A
Girl,
grown ass man try my son. I got a 19-year-old daughter, and I wish a motherfucker over 21 try it. Leave her alone. It's automatically not
Really,
fair. You don't
really.
know shit. He automatically know more than you. That's why he can take your head and run away with it, because your ass think you grown and you don't know shit, and he know more than you. He's had more experience than you.
Exactly. And if you were mature, look, when I was 17, I was out here wilding out talking to 50-year-old men. No,
Mm-mm.
no, you're not grown. You're
Oh,
not
wow.
grown. You're not grown. But anyway, what I wanted to ask the panel is, who has read the novel by Vladimir Nabokov, Lolita?
Oh, I've read Lolita.
Because when you look at the very beginning of the book, his childhood best friend died, and they were in this, best friend in love. If they had gotten older, they might have gotten married type relationship, and he ended up never getting over it. And I feel like that is so indicative of the perpetual childhood that so many men in our community go through.
Welcome
And
to
they
the panel.
feel like
I'm
they're
sorry.
entitled to children. Like, how?
it is the women's fault. As a mother with sons, when you pay attention to your children, you can see your son's sexual deviance and you can nip it in the ass from the time that they are born. This is why I talk about this mother with son thing. These mothers with sons, they condone the behavior because of their own hate for women. And I'm just saying.
Welcome to the panel, Luna. What you got?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's like yeah, sorry. There was like a lag.
Mm-hmm. Because StreamYards is trash. But what we gonna do? We gonna make
Hey,
it work.
Dusty. I've been dying to talk to you, so you guys bear with me because the lag is killing me.
Make sure your background noise is off so we can make the best of it.
I got it.
Okay.
Oh, I've been dying to talk to you. I've been dying to get to a live, first of all, because I finally found my folks, and I was like, wait, this is a divested channel? Because I actually, yeah, I didn't know what it was at first, because I'm new to YouTube in general. Like, I usually cloud watch, but I never made it to this side until probably like a week ago. And I just started like binging all your content, and I just wanted to say, like, you do not know how good it feels to like find a group of women who feel the same way I did. Because I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was alone. Because when I first met people who called themselves divested, it wasn't what you guys had actually explained it was. It was like on some other stuff. So I had basically just been like roaming around, and because it was more similar to like them girls on what's that thing called, the Clubhouse and stuff like that. And then people were telling me that no, don't call yourself divested because they worship white people and all this other stuff. So I had basically just been like walking around the room looking in like, damn, is that it? I don't think that's it. It might be it. It looks shiny in there. They got wine and cheese. Let me actually just and then one time your video had actually came on autoplay, right? And then I'm like, who is this? She is saying everything that I be thinking. And then I just started binging all of it. I'm like, wait, this is divested? This is oh my God, hold on, let me just go ahead and subscribe right now. Because what you are saying is correct, okay? Because I had my thing with a Dusty probably just before I got on in December, where my ex had literally tried to kill me. And then thank goodness I made it out not only alive, but he was also trying to get me pregnant and stuff like that. Then I'm so glad I took proper precautions not to get pregnant by him, because
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
Because you'd have been stuck in a world of
I'd have,
shit.
I'd have been stuck in a
The
whole lot.
climb out would have been so much worse than what you had before. But what you got to add to these jailhouse dusties that have social media platforms that mammies can't resist?
You know what? I don't understand where's the cognitive dissonance coming from, because these women are literally like, these men aren't fighting for their children, they're not fighting to get jobs, they're not fighting to build anything, but they're fighting for basically the right to be pedophiles. Like they're essentially saying that, oh, the white man is trying to set up these men, and in order to do what? To be pedophiles, to be jailbirds, you're committing these crimes. I don't understand where the disconnect is actually coming from, and what they're not comprehending. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them, and I don't know what's going on with the ladies who continuously just say, well, not all men, not all these guys, this is just a plot for people. I even heard somebody say it was probably the mother who took that man's semen and put it on that little girl. And
Are you serious?
What?
They've been saying that. They've been saying
No.
that.
They said that on Nyla's channel earlier today.
Yeah.
Don't say other people's name, y'all.
They've been going that
Oh,
far.
I'm sorry. They
You
said
good.
that on N's channel and T's channel.
Yeah, they
Okay.
were saying the mother was putting the sperm on the little girl, and that's why they got DNA. And then they're also in comment section saying, "Oh, a girl know if she wants some D by 12 and 13." And it's just
What?
like, what is
Oh my
No.
God.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they're making comments like that, and I'm just like, well, if the collective of you aren't like this, like you're supposedly saying, and it's all about your image, you guys are making your image look real bad right now, because all you have is men in these comment sections literally fighting and justifying pedophilia. So what's really going on?
I don't think there's a disconnect. I don't think it's cognitive dissonance, really. I think that's maybe a part of it, but I think everybody knows what's going on. Okay, because the community, their whole idea is to protect Black men, whatever they want. Okay, so if they commit pedophilia, okay, that's okay. If the girl is fast.
Right.
If they kill a Black woman, well, what did she say? You see what I'm saying? If Tyrone goes out there and gets shot by the cop, it's the cop's fault. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's really, I think it's more sinister than that. I don't think it's so much cognitive dissonance other than just, we're going to worship the shit log. And I got that from DZ, by the way. Worship the shit log and keep it protected at all costs, even to the cost of their own lives and children.
How lonely and pathetic must you be to make up this fantastical Disney story about how some DNA got on a kid she wasn't even in the same room with? Really? And he's not doing anything to change. You know what an agent is? They've been calling people that don't like polite agent. An agent is set up to tear apart a productive group. Okay, that automatically gets you out right there. You're not doing anything that someone would have to set up an agent for. Nobody's afraid of what you Dusties are doing. No one. Nobody's going to put the time, effort, and money it takes to make an actual agent bust up your little cosplay hustle, because that's all it is. It's cosplay. Y'all around here dressing like pharaohs, Egyptians, and fucking Ryu from Street Fighter and all that shit. Nobody's going to do that to bust up your little talk hustle, because that's all y'all do is talk and fuck with kids. Oh, and make sure that the Black woman's self-esteem ain't shit.
Yeah, and not just that, but oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, it's a lag. When it comes to pedophilia, they can actually tell you're a pedophile before you even act out on it, or by a certain age, by your brain structure. Swear to God. Also, certain electrons that go off. I forgot what it's called, but I would drop it as soon as I find it. So we're dealing with men with mental, if they're a certain structure, your brain is. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit
I think that's great.
because you still breaking up. Can y'all hear her or is it just me?
StreamYard.
I can hear, sis. And I agree with her completely. The Cho chasers conveniently don't believe in mental illness, so they'll never be able to. They can absolve the pedos of responsibility. They can't even say, oh, well, they're not responsible because they can't help it. They were made that way. They're just going to act like it doesn't exist at all because they feel like the quote unquote image of the community could be salvaged by hiding these predators. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm young, but I'm just still so bewildered by the fact that someone has to explain to people that somebody who touches child is not like mentally the same as other people. And that's not, I don't know. I get so disheartened every day where it's like the bar is not even in hell because hell has a pit.
You know what? And I don't think I don't even think they're trying to hide him. The thing about it is, these men I think they genuinely feel like Black women hit the wall at 25 to 30 because that's what they always say. I genuinely feel like they feel like we hit the wall at that age because they look at the women, grown women, as mothers to basically just be bred with and have their little monsters. And I feel like they look at the girls as prey. And that's why you see so many men constantly making jokes about going after single mothers and stuff like that because they're trying to get to these little girls. You know what I'm saying? Through the mother. And then you have dumb women like that monster who made that comment saying the girl was probably preying on him because she had a Jezebel spirit or something like that. And I'm just like, the girl is 14. I mean, it doesn't make any sense how as a grown man you can look at a child and feel any type of arousal. It doesn't matter how grown a child looks because I'm 29 and I get carded hardcore. Like they think I'm younger than 29. So I can only imagine how young these girls look. They just don't care because, they view them as, their prey to do whatever they want with.
I agree.
Panel divest is good. Nelly, you fell off. I don't know what happened to
Only
you.
Black man can produce black.
Oh my God. Why do they exist? Why do they exist? You went through all of that and created a profile that said divest is good. That's a very good name, by the way, because it's true. That's number one. And Nelly, if you want to come back, honey. Y'all burn the stage.
Predatory that is. He just like he's not wanted in this space, but he comes anyway. Like what?
I don't even know what he was saying because I don't speak Dusties. Anybody know what he said? Because I don't know. All I heard was the cadence, and I already knew I needed to get him out of here.
Mush mouth.
He said only a Black man can give you a Black child.
Ain't nobody trying to have Black kids.
A Black child. That's
Thank
the
you.
Maybe we don't want one. Thank you. Maybe we don't want them.
Maybe if you don't want a child, you feel like you can victimize. Did you consider that, baby? Did you consider that, boo?
And you know what? They will
clearly
say that
not
all the time in these comment sections. They'll be like, well, you don't come back after the white man leaves you. Don't come back. Notice how they always go to a white man. Like you can't divest with anybody else. It's always a white man because they're just so scared of him. Like they always say like, oh, only a Black man could give you a baby. Only a Black. It's like as if I want to be a single mother out here. What are you even talking about? These dudes are so,
No, come on, you good.
Oh, these dudes are so dumb. Because I openly say I hate Black men. I don't care whose panel I'm on. I don't care whose chat I'm in. I hate y'all niggas. And I have no problem with saying I don't like them talking to me. I don't have no Black male friends. I got rid of all them. All that great risings, queen. Nah, you gotta go too. You gotta go. The last Black guy I was friends with was getting divorced from his wife, hit me up because I thought like he was genuinely, messed up in the head and he wanted me to like watch his kids or something for him. This man hit on me. I was like, you have 5 kids and you're getting a divorce from your wife. You don't think you want to get some therapy, take care of your children, No, your first thought is to hit on me. I got rid of all of them.
Well, all they can do is think with their penis. So you shouldn't have been surprised by that at all. Everything is about their dick. If somebody's trying to figure out how to orbit the fucking moon on a ship, they gonna make that shit about their dick because that's all they know. And they barely know that because I heard your mammies ain't getting orgasms, Dusties. So learn something.
Facts. And I love when they mention pink. Oh, you like pink dick? Absolutely. Bubblegum is delicious, nigga.
Num num num.
He said only black men can produce black women without black men. There can be no swirling movement, bitches. Well, first of all, black men can't produce anything of any sort, first of all. And the only way you get a black child is if you procreate with a black woman. So you're a liar. And black women, I hope when y'all get pregnant with these niggas, something go through your mind and say, I should go to the chop shop. And I hope they chop. Oh, Lord. Never mind.
Let me ask the worm that slid through this. Are y'all going to go avenge that 14-year-old girl and beat Polite's ass? Or you just wanted to troll? Because there's a girl right now that needs your protection. So you got other shit to do.
No,
anybody gonna avenge that child?
No, they're gonna laugh at her and blame her.
Talking about
they're gonna hit her with the well, that's none of my business though. It's none of my business.
It ain't never none of their business. But they want us to be out there marching for every random black man that you don't know.
The same should have been swallows who are out here talking about how children are fast will be mad again divested women when they're in the store with their man. So really, it's a lack of priority for real.
I just say lock all their asses up. I don't see any use for them anywhere. Just lock them up. Call
Princess,
the post.
The link is in the chat, hun. If y'all need it again, I'll go ahead and post it. But the link is in the chat.
Lock him up. Lock him up.
I really want a goofy ass.
And you know what? It's so sad. I only saw one or two black male content creators talking about it and definitively saying, what is wrong with y'all? Why are you blaming this little girl for being in this situation? Like a 14-year-old can make any significant situational choices. When you were 14, were you able to go and do what you wanted to do whenever you wanted to do it? I don't think you could.
Do it because she's 14. She can't consent. That is why they do it. If you get some 25-year-old woman who tells you no, that's one thing. You go for the 15-year-olds. They can't say no. They can be pushed into saying yes, or they can be pushed anyway. That's why they want them.
Welcome back to the panel, Nelly. Welcome to the panel, Nelly. Y'all can hear you. I just wanted to let you know you were live. Thank you, Sugar Honey. And she's back on mute. Whenever you're ready to talk, just jump right in here, Nelly. Thank you for coming up. But he got up here and tried to threaten somebody that they couldn't have black children if you didn't have a black man. That's like telling me, oh, if you don't fuck me, you ain't gonna never be able to catch HIV. You are an idiot. Mm-hmm. You are an idiot. That's not a threat.
I hate them. They're so stupid.
Let me go ahead and turn.
No, let me tell you something.
Your microphone was cutting up again, but whenever you're ready to talk, go ahead and pull yourself off mute. And let me add Jennifer. Welcome, Jennifer. Are you dusty or what's going on? Mm-hmm. Jennifer. All right. Jennifer ain't ready for the smoke either. Whenever you come off mute, hopefully you are a divested woman and not an ashy motherfucker, because we're going to have some fun if you ashy. All right.
Briscoe, so we can drop the F-bomb now?
I drop the F-bomb every 5 minutes. Girl, what you talking about?
I be trying not to break the rules. I don't want to get your channel taken down because I love your channel. You're the only one who just tells it like it is 100% all the time.
They won't take it down for F-bombs. They just demonetize the video. But since I'm not fucking a Dusty, I don't have to worry about monetization. That's how that works. Ooh. So fuck, and fuck again.
Don't say the other F word though, because don't YouTube don't like that one.
Yeah, YouTube can't stand that.
Oh, I don't necessarily like that one either. I feel like that gets used against women too much, so I typically don't use that word. But that is a word that does apply to them.
Very much so.
You better not come on that Discord because we use all the words. All the forbiddens are used over there. Randomly.
No, I might want to lurk down there and see what it's going on.
Because we talking about Kwame Brown and we talking about brother Polite here this way. when we talk about them tonight, you're gonna think you at a Klan meeting, and that's just what it is.
Oh,
Where is the plan when you need them?
girl.
You know what? I'm working on a theory. Not working on it. I kind of got something I have in my head. So, okay, so does everybody know the difference between a psychopath and a sociopath? They're kind of the same, but they're kind of not, right? So, for anyone who doesn't know, the psychopath is supposed to be born, and the sociopath is supposed to be created through, uh, traumatic experiences. My thing about it is, I'm thinking so many women have condoned like this dusty behavior for so long, because I feel like this divested thing is still kind of new, like what, within the past 10 years, right?
Well, publicly, yeah, for the past 10 years.
Right. And so a lot of women actually didn't know like how dusty these men were and how like degenerate they were. So I'm thinking so many women have just basically been breeding these little monsters, and your genes don't change. If that's like, if you have blue eyes, both parents have blue eyes, you'll have a child with blue eyes. And I feel like that energy and mentality has basically just been bred back into these men every time they're born, because how many women, looking all the way back to our grandmothers and great grandmothers, have lived in the family and they've been touched by an uncle or approached by an adult man when they were in high school, pulling up to their high schools and stuff like that, trying to pick up their little girlfriends, aka victims, and these men were grown. And they're getting all these women pregnant, they're not taking care of their children, they abandon their families, and then bitch and moan online. It's basically just being recreated through a lot of these women continuously having children with them. That's what it seems like to me.
True. I agree.
Oh,
Patricia,
they need birth control.
Patricia, I appreciate you, and I couldn't agree more, goddamn it. And thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate you. Welcome to the panel, DS. Y'all just clicking that link because y'all like to hear my voice. What's happening? Welcome to the panel. Hi.
This is my first time calling to any YouTube show. I'm so
People say that all the time. Yeah, why y'all be using me for y'all first? I'm y'all practice panel.
I discovered your channel maybe a month ago and I have been hooked. So thank you so much for all the work you've been doing. All the public service announcement, it's really touching, and it's so sad to hear about what's happening to our little sisters out there, and our daughters. For those who could have teenagers, it's so heartbreaking to know that. So I'm from the motherland.
We can hear it.
I remember, I'm a 90s kid growing up in the 90s when the AIDS and HIV was really becoming such a huge crisis on the continent. I do remember being told to be super careful because at one point there were these men kidnapping very young girls because
that's for y'all in the diaspora. You hear what she said? Coming straight from the
rumor,
motherland.
There was this rumor about virgins curing AIDS. So if you sleep or quite frankly abuse a virgin, you will get cured of your AIDS. So old men would kidnap young girls to do that. And it wasn't too much in my country from what I know, but definitely in the southern part of the continent. So I think a lot of South Africa, it was rampant. And when I say rampant, I'm like, I cannot tell you how rampant that was.
I believe it.
And I just wanted to contribute that today.
I'm glad you contributed, because I'm getting ready to say, for the diaspora mammies, I hope you heard that. But I think you already knew that. You're just being intellectually dishonest about what a dusty actually is. Okay?
I don't know about the age of consent like the other panelist was talking about, because I know that our laws are so rudimentary anyway. So I have never, because I came here only for my university, so I never heard of anything called age of consent before I got to the US. I know the majority in my country is 20, but I know that it's also possible to get married younger than the 20 that before that you were minor. So yeah, I don't know about age of consent. I know that it's possible to get married earlier, and definitely for very traditional families, they do that. Unfortunately, they do marry the young teen daughters to old rich men to get more either power in the community or money because those men are rich, and polygamy is practiced.
So basically, in other words, if black men ruled anywhere you live, you're gonna probably get touched before you're ready. That's what I'm getting from this story. Regardless of their financial situation, because she just said they're usually rich. But some of those folks that live in villages and shit like that, they're touching those kids too. All you got to do is use your YouTube fingers. It's dust.
Right.
Diaspora is full of dust.
Right. DZ, one of our biggest fans. Kick him. That's one of our biggest fans. He a Nig.
Oh my God.
He in the back. Nick Nog. He be here every live.
I don't
know.
Gonna
give you your shine, buddy.
Let me go ahead and put him up out of here.
DZ, you need to have play that Mariah Carey song. Why you so obsessed with me?
They really are.
Every time one of these hoes show up and be trying to troll because they obsessed with your ass.
Nasty ass niggas.
Welcome to the panel, KD. Turn your background off and go ahead and add. It's on you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Beautifully.
All right. My heart is still racing because this demon that came up here all screaming and whatnot. Like, I don't like hearing demons at all.
What are you talking about?
The Nick Nog.
Who was screaming? Was he screaming? See, I don't know, Dusties. Y'all have to tell me what actually happened because as soon as I heard his voice, he was gone. I didn't know he was screaming. But
yeah,
anyway, keep going, KD.
Yeah, like that's the occult right there, and I don't talk to the occult or engage with them, so my heart is still racing. But I just wanted to say that I think that a lot of them are pedos. Like even my dad is a pedo, which is why I stay away from him.
Oh wow.
He had a porn collection.
Wow, will you please get this Dusty out of the back room, please? He is still here.
Well, he can always join back. Like
he has multiple accounts. I'm gonna have to kick him several times, honey.
Girl, just let him sit.
All right, I'm sorry, ladies. Please go ahead.
You were talking about your father?
Yeah. So when I was about 6, I saw his drawer, and because he lived with my grandma, even when I was like still a kid, he still lived there, and like I found his drawer, and it was like all of this porn, and then like the porn was just all role play of 16, 17, high school girl, and like that was just so dirty. And then like when I was 17, I saw him looking down my shirt, and that's when I just like had to cut him off. It was just so gross. So yeah, he's cut off. They're dirty.
Good. I was just going to ask you. You don't deal with him, right?
Nope.
Let me put your mic on mute because it sounds like you juggling some phones, sis. Child, I can't. So let me ask you, mammies, this. Hold on 1 second. Let me ask you, mammies, this. What exactly would it take for you to finally say that's enough? All of your content creators are being locked up for various things, and it has something to do with women. The majority of it. KS, the Kitten Hills, his motherfucking ass got a mugshot out here. Why does all your favorite content creators have a goddamn mugshot? Welcome, Sugar Honey. That's the DZ pause. Sugar Honey, you're on. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. What would it take for you to finally say, I'm done? Unapologetic, what made you divest?
So I've been not dealing with niggas since I was a teenager.
Me too.
But seeing my family just be all dusty and shit, I was just like, I don't want to be around you. And that's why I joined the military to get away from them. Guess what? They in the military too, so I had to deal with their asses in there. But as far as like commune with them, be around them, no, I hate them. Like y'all should hear how I talk in the Discord. It's a bit rough. I can't stand their asses. They make me sick. Like I genuinely want to just spit in their face. That's how sick they make me.
Y'all up in this comment section asking for the link, and then y'all come back here and be like, oh, Yeah, I don't. I'm just here. I didn't want to say nothing.
You
Let
know
me
what,
put his ass
DV?
back up out of here. Yes, ma'am.
I want to tell you why I divested.
Why?
Years and years of giving up myself and never getting nothing, and years of seeing the degeneracy and the cognitive dissonance and just the ignorance. And I just didn't want to be bothered with it anymore.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. I saw my family. I didn't have to get a taste of none of that shit. These stories that I hear, it's literally from hearing it and seeing it. Experiencing it firsthand, that's not my ministry. That's not my ministry. I've never experienced dust firsthand. I guess my family members seeing it, you could call that firsthand. But as far as romantically, fuck no. I've never experienced it.
Somebody need to meet themselves.
Me start divesting was I don't know. I had these thoughts since I was like 5 through 6, like going to school. I'm like, something wrong with these like demonic demons. I'm like the pits of the deep darkness of abyss. Like I can't even get my words together. They just were mean
Yeah.
and ugly.
You kind of
The StreamYard is messing up.
She's very choppy. Very choppy. Nelly, you're back on, honey. All right. If you're not going to speak when you come up here, I'm gonna make some room for people that want to speak. So let me go ahead and start moving some folks. It's on you, Luna.
Okay. I wanted to say what ultimately made me divest, and then I was gonna hop out and let someone else in. So I'd seen the dustiness in my family because most of them are child predators as well, but I still held out hope for this imaginary unicorn, right? Now I'm talking about I got so serious with the type of men I was picking. I didn't even date men who wore like Jordans and t-shirts. I would only date men who actually had houses. I would only date men who actually had decent careers. I would only date men like of a certain caliber overall. You know what I mean? And that actually led to my ex, and he was like a computer engineer. He developed apps and all that other stuff. I thought he was great. He spoke very clearly.
Luna, are you sitting in front of a fan?
Oh yeah, actually I am.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then right, and he was like basically the perfect gentleman and all this other stuff until he got me to move in with him, and I had signed a lease with him and we were living together, and immediately he flipped. And before that, I had already sort of cut most black men out of my life, but after, because he was supposed to be quote unquote pro-black, he was supposed to be the quote unquote high value, he was supposed to be all these things that they tell you you need to just look for in a black man, and then magically you will get a man who's just this so great, that good black unicorn that they talk about so much. Did all of that and still got the same Dusty, still got the same crazy violent monkey. Basically he was a fucking animal. He even said he wanted traditional relationships. He would support black businesses. He used to specifically go to black women's businesses and talk about, oh, the black woman needs to be uplifted and all this other stuff, and turned out to be the worst fucking monster I have ever dealt with. And I had already dated, other races of men before, so I already knew what the difference was when I was getting with these different guys. And I'm just like, something's missing. Maybe it's me. And I'm just like, no, it's them.
They know what you're looking for. They know that's what they put on that mask, because we are very boisterous about what we want. Then they change into that for 2 days, and then they come and touch your children.
Yeah, they
know what black women are looking for.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, I just cut them all off. Like, I'm talking about like friends, family, all of that stuff, all of them. Like, I don't even like them talking to me on the job. I will keep it short. If it's not about work, don't say nothing to me. Stay away from me, because I don't trust none of them. Every single time one of them get close to you, they flip on you. They flip on you, and then they blame you. They blame women. They whine about child support. They whine about condoms. They whine about children. They whine about women. They whine about having no jobs. They whine about not being educated while doing nothing to change their circumstances. They don't try to get employed. They don't try to get these jobs where they keep claiming the white man is keeping them out of the field. They don't try to take care of their children. And then if you do get an abortion, they be complaining about abortion. Then
think about that part you just said where they say the white man won't let them do anything. That right there in itself should let a mammy know that your man is in the position where he has to let somebody let him do. How are you going to submit to that? He's telling you there is a better man, a man out here that's a lot better than me, that's actually controlling me, but let me control you. That's schizo. Point blank, period.
And I had them ask me before, they was just like, well, what do you like white men for? Just because they're white? And I'm like, no, that's you niggas who only date white women because they're white. I like white men because they're powerful and they dominate you and they send chills through your spines. When a white man, the average little redneck hick, can roll down the fucking hood and they're all terrified that he's a cop. I like his resources. I like the way they dominate all the fields. I like how powerful they are. Like, they're better. They're real men. I like patriarchy. I like real men who can perform like a man. And meanwhile, you have the whole black manosphere complaining about women wanting to go 50-50. You have the white manosphere complaining that they can't get their women to stay in the fucking house. I'm just like, do you even see the difference in the types of incels? Even the white incels are complaining that they want their women to stay home, be pregnant, be mothers and wives. And these niggas is complaining that we're in their way, not letting them be free. They got to take care of their children. Women don't want to go 50-50. I mean, even that alone is some sad shit right there.
It is. Welcome, dark gentlewoman.
Oh, I'm not talking, guys. You guys have a good one.
Bye, baby. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, wonderful. Because my mic usually twerks, before it wants to work. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, all right, I got it together. But yes, oh my goodness, you know what? I'm tired, DZ. I'm tired because it's like, the Dusty that came in and said, oh, you can only have babies with a black man. Actually, I can go and me and my little non-black sweetheart. We can go and adopt a fully black girl because there's so many of them in the system.
Yes.
Right. I can find one that probably looks exactly like me, and I've told that to some Dusties and they get mad because they know it's true, but listen, look, Kitten Heels, he had a mugshot out there, multiple evictions, child support, warrant for his bench warrant. Okay. Yeah. Now for the mammies out there, who are still, because I've met a few in person, they're kind of scary, who like Kitten Heels. They don't
Shut up.
Yes. Oh my God. One tried to convince me that he didn't have kids, and I'm like, sis, that's public record. No, he doesn't have
so
kids.
Delusional. I can't.
The look in her eyes, I swear it's like Jim Jones, like one of Jim Jones' followers. Like, girl, you have really drank the Kool-Aid.
She probably was going to tell you that wasn't him on the mugshot. That wasn't him filing those bankruptcies. He had 2 successful marriages. She was probably going to run it down because that's how delusional they are.
They
honestly
are delusional. I'm DZ. I don't. It's like, see, here's but let me tell you the type. Okay, they usually have some college and that's it. They're generally not more educated than that. It's rare you're going to come across that type of person because educated women can do research. They know how to do research, this and the other. The few mammies that are educated just refuse to do the research because they know it's out there, but they just don't want to face the truth, if you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah, but it's mostly like undereducated Black women or partially educated Black women who believe this crap. Okay, like, oh, he's innocent. No, he's not. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Anybody can do a search. This man was on a federal watch list. Do you know what that is?
I do.
Okay, you get flagged by the Department of State and you can't get a passport, you can't get anything. Okay, and because he owed so much child support, because he owes so much child support, He can't even get a passport. You know,
That's
and
a damn shame. They say
right.
they don't want you going nowhere around this globe because you can't buy some juicy juice and some fucking cereal and a pair of shoes from Walmart. Look how pussy you are. They are disgusting.
And it's awful. It's awful. It's just like what kind of what you know, and that's the thing. It's just like, you know, once upon a time, you know, okay, this is according to my father who wasn't Dusty, but he
Thank you,
said
Patricia.
he said that, you know, once upon a time those men could not even be in the company of men who were decent. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those dudes were living underground. You know, they couldn't make money. They had to be out of the system. They had to be, you know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, now they're elevated, and it's just like, what? You know, but I'm telling you, like he could not even get a passport, and now his latest video, he's hey Lauren, no, what do you mean got it snatched? He never had it. If he did have it, he couldn't get it renewed. That's why and I'm gonna tell you something. All the Brazil dudes that were like, oh, I'm going to Brazil and getting exotical, you know, you Black American women have too many issues. Yeah, all of them are back here now because the passport's only good for 10 years. So when you renew, if you can't if you owe child support, you can't renew. Let's say you know Dusty Tavion is living out of the country and his passport expired and he has to go get another one at the embassy. The embassy will be like, no sir, you're not eligible, and then they'll alert the authorities saying that, hey, this person's in the country. Now depending on what country it is, you know, you can stay for 30 days, you can stay for 90 days. You know, once your passport is up, you got, you know, 90 days or what's however so many days to leave the country, you know, or you can be arrested or you can be you can be deported. So a lot of these Dusties just said, okay, well, you know what, I got to go back home, and they're mad because they've got tens of thousands of dollars in child support. Yes, Kitten Heels is one of those people who owes tens of thousands of dollars.
I saw that.
Tens of thousands of dollars of child support, and it's just like, and you know, his latest video was, because I don't watch him, but I, you know, clips of the Antichrist pop up on YouTube. I mean, excuse me, on Twitter. He was laughing at a white woman putting her dog up in a seat on the plane, and I wonder if she got a PhD. Okay, first of all, if a dog is allowed on their plane, that's an emotional support dog,
right?
Because if they're not emotional support dogs, they have to fly in cargo. So you're making fun of somebody with an emotional, you know, who's gone through emotional trauma.
That's why I don't feel bad making fun of them. I know they slow.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't, because
I know they slow. You probably shouldn't make fun of people that's slow, but damn it, these Dusties, they don't mind, you know, making fun of everybody fucking else.
Right.
So I got you.
How I mean, and here's the thing. If you, okay, because I'm educated and because I know people who have studied, my own father studied psychology, okay? It was a minor, you know, but it's like, you know, I know people who have those degrees and who have done that research, and, you know, and I read. So it's like, okay, like, and I fly a lot. I mean, for those of y'all know, I'll pop up anywhere on the globe. You know, if I'm somewhere and DZ or any of the channels I like are on, I'll be sitting there, you know, hey, how you doing? You know, in a different time zone. So I travel a lot. So my thing is, if I see a dog on a plane, I know that's an emotional support dog. Okay, and that the whole protocol is different. Why are you laughing at somebody with an emotional support dog?
They are evil
you
demons.
have absolutely no remorse, no empathy, nothing. That is a psychopath. That is clearly a narcissist. And I'm gonna tell, and somebody, I don't know who worked, I know we got all types of ladies in here who work in aviation or whatever. Who has the blue uniform, the dark blue uniforms and whatnot? Because I don't think it's Delta, but somebody needs to flag that video and get him banned, because you're not supposed to do that. Okay, you're not supposed to do that. Because
they'll never do it. They need his validation. They need his validation. Dead ass.
Isn't that okay? You are a nurse, DZ. Isn't that a violation of HIPAA?
Well, if he's not saying the name of the person, something identifiable, no, it's not a violation. So, like when they do case studies and shit, and they just put the initials up there and then tell everything that happened, as long as you can't identify the patient, then no, it's not a HIPAA violation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, somebody was saying it's maybe American Airlines. Okay, maybe. All right, but yeah, because he needs to be stopped. And you saw how the New York Post dragged him.
Yeah, I saw that shit. They basically called him a red flag. They said any man.
Sis, I did not see the New York
Let me
Post.
drop that in the chat. Let me drop that in the chat. Let me drop that in the chat, because dark gentlewoman, I'm the international woman of mystery, and I got all sorts of people everywhere around the globe. So
they said if your date or your potential spouse or whatever is a fan of kitten heels, then that's a red flag and you probably should back off. The New York Post said that shit. Wow. Okay. Your presence, your mouth is a red flag. Bitch, go away.
I love it. And you didn't hear this from me, but there were people wondering, whether he should be a thing in the mainstream, a legit thing in the mainstream, and they were like, no.
Well, he mainstream now, but not like he wanted to be. He's mainstream,
but
New York Post is mainstream.
You know why, DZ? But you know why he can't be there, legitimately and as somebody positive, because Black women have too much money. Black women have too much money. We are the buying power in the Black community.
Well, and he knows that too.
They know that.
That's where he gets his money from. Those dumbass women over there.
Precisely. All right, I'm gonna shut up now, but I'm gonna go find this link and drop it in the chat from the New York Post.
Shit, all they gotta do is Google it. It's right there, and it came with a video and receipts on the video. Sugar honey, you ready yet, sis?
Oh, now every single time I hear New York Post, I'm gonna take a drink.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I am ready. I apologize for my little technical mishap earlier.
Girl, it's all good. We have fun over here.
All right. Yeah, I was a little clueless. But I wanted to, I was just sitting and listening to you ladies and thinking about the portions of a certain live that I listened to earlier with, several women some of whom I used to have some respect for. Just considering what I heard from them during that live, and this ongoing question I've been asking myself, which is why do the most educated demographic of women in the country insist upon defying all logic and working against their own best interests, in this particular area, which is, the beast.
You've never seen real desperation until you've seen a mammy that wants a Black man. You have never seen it until you see it on her. She wears it.
But why? Because for me, DZ, they are not attractive, right? And I've heard other women. I've heard other women talk about, the reasons. It's not all physical. It's about what they don't offer as far as what a man should offer. And so that is a turnoff for me. There's nothing remotely physically exciting about a man who offers nothing, and in fact is offering to downgrade my life just, by being anywhere within a 6-foot radius of me. So I keep trying to think, how is it that the most educated demographic of women in the country, she goes to school, she defies all odds, she takes care of children who've been abandoned by, the beast. And how is it that these women who would otherwise be, paragons of virtue in so many ways, how is it that they are, so suicidal and working against their own best interests? And so I was listening to you ladies, and I kind of, what was I thinking? I was thinking that this is the last bastion of defense for these beasts, that they completely see what the beast is, that they are just as, self-defeating as they appear, and are willing to sacrifice themselves and other women and girls for the beast. And so my question is, why are they doing this? Why? What is it? Is it some kind of curse, like I've heard suggested? What is it?
They need to go ahead and dig their heels in, because this fall is getting ready to be a mess. We're almost done. We're almost done with summer. Okay. After September 20th, we'll officially be going into fall. Watch what happens after that. Okay. Around the holidays, our live is going to be fucking lit.
Right.
Because there's some shit coming down the pike. Everybody sees who they are already, right? But when you see the added level of poverty, being snatched off programs, losing your place to live, and all this shit here, you're getting ready to see them act real fucking ugly. And I'm gonna tell you like this, y'all bet to keep your head on the swivel. Don't be out here with shopping bags. Don't be out here with your purse. Put that motherfucker in the trunk. If you got to go somewhere with your purse, put it in the trunk, because you're inviting ashy motherfuckers that are now desperate and hungry and lonely and all this shit. You're just basically saying, come on, come get me. This fall is going to be very interesting. The pandemic showed that we getting ready to go through some really, really interesting shit. And I hate to see it happen, but there was no way to avoid it.
Right. I had just one more idea that popped into my head. We talk about how these beasts don't want to be men. They don't want to take on the cost to be the boss. They don't want to take on the mantle of manhood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obvious. So what I was thinking about some of these women, or maybe all of them, they cringe from the idea of taking on the mantle of womanhood. What is that mantle? It's not just the care of the children. It's the care of yourself. It's the decision to decide who is born and who isn't born. It's the decision to mold future generations. These women run scared when you start to talk to them about considering what it is that they take into their womb, what it is that they permit to grow, what it is that they nurture. They run scared. Oh, that's blasphemy. Oh, white supremacy, eugenics, whatever. It's weakness.
They're competing. They're competing
because that is where our power is. That is what that is our gift. That is what we master. That is what we own. We have the right. I mean, women have taken their lives in the past in order to keep a demon seed from being born. And these women are too frightened to say these creatures don't deserve legacy. They're too frightened to be the women, the goddesses, that they are born to be. And so I find that reprehensible. I find it reprehensible that they don't want to take on the mantle of womanhood. Period. Okay, that's all I got.
I appreciate you coming up here. And if
Thank
you have
you.
anything else, make sure you jump in, because I'm getting ready to start ranting. So, let me tell you. Let me tell y'all this real quick, right? As far as this fall coming. We just got past C-19 for the most part, that we're dealing with the Delta variant now, whatever. The same men that you're calling kings was cutting you in line to get to the benefits that were given by the system. The stimulus checks, they were the first people in line. They got food stamps. I saw on Facebook a whole bunch of ashies talking about my food stamps come buy some or whatever. They also applied for all those PPP loans. They applied for unemployment when they weren't supposed to get it, just quitting jobs and then trying to get that extra 300 to 500. It depends on which president was up there, how much they were getting. But all of this shit, they cut you in line to get at the man's resources. And then they sit up and tell you that they're actual men. No, they know what an actual man is, because that's who they apply for all their benefits from. Like I said, this shit is getting ready to get cut off, and watch the hell that breaks out. It's already a shithole in New York City. Have y'all seen that new shit in Chicago where the kids, teenagers, are jumping on adults, attacking them rampantly? This ain't nothing. We still in August. Wait till November get here. By the time you're trying to fry that turkey, You're going to be scared to look at your notifications. I can promise you that. Anyway, Nelly, you're unmuted. It's on you.
Hi, I've been struggling with StreamYard for like the past 30 minutes.
It's all right.
I know you were like, she keeps falling off.
No, it's all good. StreamYards is a trip.
Oh my God, this polite situation is it's really triggering because I'm 30 years old, just to kind of put that into perspective. And my father in the 90s left us to be side by side with Dr. Malachi York.
Oh,
And
boy.
he was in Atlanta for many, many years. I even have siblings who were born in Atlanta who I just recently connected with over the past few years because, you know, their mothers saw the bullshit that was going on within these organizations and left, took their babies and left. So that resulted in me not having a relationship with my siblings. But I just want to say to these women who are making excuses for these men, not only is their day of reckoning coming, but yours is as well. I think that
Preach
these
on.
women can't be shamed into doing right. It's either you have the urge to self-preservation or you don't. And, you know, at this point, what these women are doing, they're going to have to be called to task for that as well. And so it just amazes me how, as a woman, you can sit online and make statements like that, knowing that you, as a Black woman, most likely before the age of 12 or 13, have walked down the street and had grown ass men talking to you and trying to make passes at you. And it's like, you know, in their head, it's like, well, I had to go through this. So now these young Black girls have to go through the same thing. Like, there's no sense of wanting to protect these girls or anything. And so it's really disgusting and it's really triggering. And I remember a few years ago when I was 27, I was dealing with some, you know, spiritual blockages, and I was wondering why. And I realized that at that time I was also allowing my father to try to rebuild a relationship with me. And I realized that as long as I allowed him into my life, those curses that are on him are going to be on me too, because I'm his descendant and we inherit the curses of our father. And so in order to get my life where I wanted it to go, I had to completely cut my father off. And so not only did I have to cut him off from me, but if I decide to have children in the future, he also can't have a relationship with them. So it's like that these ties with these men have to be severed, because as long as you're connected to them, you're going to inherit the curses that are coming for them. And that's why we see all of these Black women taking rubber bullets to the faces and getting in the way of, you know, Black men's reckoning, and it's only falling on them. And so Black women in divested spaces, you're where you should be, even whether you're new or you're old to the concept of divestment. Just keep at it. You're going in the right direction. Yep. And I mean, for these other women, we're just going to have to, you know, just sit back and watch what you're
I'm
doing.
gonna watch them fall. I mean, because the information is out there. You know better. There's no such thing as a unicorn, but there is a such thing as poverty and violence. And I'm sure mammies are very, very acquainted with those two terms.
I mean, we all think the men in our lives are unicorns, but I'm sure the women that have dealt with these men will say otherwise. Facts. You know, I have uncles who have been there for me since day one, especially when my father wasn't there. But then I look at their wives and their girlfriends, and they're several times divorced. And I'm sure these women would say something totally different. So yeah, he may be a good uncle or a good brother to you, but that still doesn't mean that he's a good man. And I think a lot of Black women don't understand that.
No, I know that we like to think that they don't understand. You know, it's a lot of Black women have degrees. On one hand, we like to tout that we're the smartest women on earth, but then we like to say that they also are the dumbest women on earth. So pick a side. If you already know and you know they're going to fuck you up and you're going to stand 10 toes down on that, go get fucked up. I'll cover your story whenever it hits the press. I promise you I will.
You know, I know Black women with medical degrees who are paired up with men who are convicted felons and in and out of jail. And it's like, I don't get it. You went through the process that a lot of people can't, like, medical school is not an easy feat.
No,
How
it's
do
not.
you have the willpower to do this, but not the willpower to turn away men who are destructive? Like I'll never understand that about black women.
You
I
know
don't
what
think
that
even if they did
oh,
a study on their ass, nobody can figure that out because it's truly stupid. And I know that's a juvenile word to use, but it's stupid.
it
They
is
know
stupid.
better, but they're being willfully ignorant and they out here paying for it.
You know what else it is? The refusal to just accept the fact that there aren't any good you know, ones. That they just don't want to accept that and they just are willing they're willingly delusional and
Mm-hmm.
willingly naive. And then also, a lot of women feel like because they brother or uncle or dad is nice to them, they feel like they think that transfers over to the women that he's in a relationship with and sleeping with. And I don't understand why women don't understand when a man can fuck you, y'all whole dynamic of y'all situation is different.
Yep.
So why, I can't stand when women be like, "Oh, my brother ain't like that," or "He would never do that," or "My dad's like," yeah, no, he your dad and he your brother. You can't fuck him, so you
Period.
don't know him on the level of someone that can sleep with him. He's going to be completely different with somebody that he can have sexual access to, honey. You thinking about it the wrong way. You ain't gonna never really know how he is.
I agree.
I feel like some women don't. I don't know if
Because your
it,
uncle was
it
there
doesn't
for
make
you. Everybody else supposed to let him fuck up their life. No,
right.
ma'am.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't think
Mm-mm.
they understand that it's a disconnect there.
Welcome to the panel, Patricia and the DZ Pauls. Patricia, it's on you, sweetheart. All right, it ain't on you. Fuck it. You ain't got to say that. I'm just, I'm just messing
Lizzie,
around.
can I address
Yes.
something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Regarding the point about educated Black women who they get themselves in those kind of situation.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to brag, but now watch me brag. I went to probably two of the best schools in these countries,
Mhm.
and my fellow Black women classmates. I mean, when I'm saying best school, I'm talking about, that this person has $1 million trust fund, like multi-million-dollar trust fund.
We
You know
get you.
that this person is the son of the head of this corporation. You know that this person is a European royalty. I'm talking about that kind of school.
You right.
And tell me why there was never any Black women in the white parties. Like I barely saw a Black girl in a frat, or in a white frat party, or things like that ever.
Mhm.
My second year, I started going to black parties, and that was crazy to me. I was just basically sitting down in the corner and watching, because I had never seen that kind of stuff in my life.
Yeah, you see some
Um,
crazy shit on them campuses, I
what
swear.
was happening over there was just like so crazy. And it was just so weird to me, because we were barely 8% of the Black population on campus, was barely 8%. Like the Asians, they were around 30 to 35%, and
Mhm.
the rest was basically white. But I could barely see interracial, like Black women, white guy, or any other color guy
We're
holding
the most
hands,
race
walking
loyal.
down
That's
the street. Like I could never see that happening. I won't say that was the case for me, because
hold
I
up a
was
second.
there.
We are the most race loyal. Y'all, please don't let these motherfuckers tell y'all some traitorous ass bitches. And if they bring up daughters of the trade, um, inbox me because I got some shit to tell you about that shit too. Black women are the most loyal women. It doesn't matter what continent they're on. They always think they have to be with these ashy motherfuckers. This is why we are murdered the most. This is why we get our ass whooped the most. This is why we have the most bastards, so on and so forth. We are the most loyal. I had to throw that in there. Keep going, D.
And the stories that I used to hear about those girls, I mean, being just begging to be with these black guys on campus, it was too much. I was just like, why
It's
are you doing
embarrassing.
this to yourself? You are coming from a upper middle class or even upper class because most of the parents were like doctors and things like that. So why are you begging to be with someone? But I understood that, okay, it was probably their first boyfriend and they've never been in a place where they were free. So now they wanted to finally be popular because in high school they were the geeks. So I was very basically on an experiment because it was also one of my during my first years here in America. So I was just watching the whole thing going down, and I was thinking there are so many like white or other races of guys that you can fight over, or actually not fight over. You can just
D,
go there.
I'm getting ready to move on to child support real quick. So
Mhm.
go ahead and
No,
finish up, and I
so I
got you.
just wanted to address that point that if they had expanded their options, they could have had even a better future than now us being 10 years out of the school and still remembering the crazy thing they did just to keep a black boyfriend.
Yeah,
That's all.
we'll do anything to be with a black dude. This is why we up here tonight. Cause shit, when y'all get done from being over here, travel in the YouTube space and watch where all the black women are hanging out at. They up under some dusty motherfucker that has a platform, a microphone, saying whatever. It doesn't matter what he's saying. He could be manosphere, he could be so-called quote unquote divested as a black male, and they're going to be there. Point blank, period. Just basically throwing their tits up on the table saying, am I good enough? And that's basically what Dee was talking about. It's on you, child support. That's so funny that your name is child support. All right, well, I'm getting ready to start dragging because y'all microphones ain't working. Dark
My
gentlewoman, you got anything
microphone works. I mean,
I was getting ready to say, shoot, act like you know
I
us,
thought it
sister.
wasn't my turn. I have interrupting disease. I'm trying to cure it.
Well, it's on you.
All right then. Well, I don't know. I just wanted to quickly come on here with my divestment quote unquote story. I feel like a lot of black women in the South kind of grow up being indoctrinated into Blackistan.
You're from the South?
Yes, I'm from the South.
Okay.
I'm not going to say where because I don't want to dox myself because I have a very, but yes, I'm from the South. People don't believe me, but why lie? And I thought something was wrong with me initially for being attracted to men who were not black men. And I, would always get these questions about why. And I'm like, well, he's just as cute as the black boy, so why not? And over time, I realized that the sort of compliments I would get from non-black men were so different. Like, I don't know how many younger women have ever heard of this, because this is something we talk about, but there's this thing called negging, where you give a woman a backhanded compliment to lower her self-esteem so she feels like you're on your level. And I, grew up in this more intimately liberated generation where women feel a lot more comfortable exploring their sexuality and their preferences. And when I started learning about, I remember the book came out and it was this huge scandal. Not even to say the whole name. All I'm going to say is 50, and you already know. And I'm like, why does this feel like it's about black women? I remember reading this book with my mom, who is a black mom. I'm a fully black woman. And I remember thinking, like, why does this book remind me of my parents' marriage before they divorced, where my dad would just keep pushing and pushing and pushing my mom outside of her comfort zone. And she would just keep moving the goalpost of her boundaries. And that's when I realized that it was a cultural issue. If I came from the root of blackness, living in not just like the regular schmegular South, I mixed with Mississippi. Deep South. I'm used to black, the quote unquote black pride. But none of the men in my family, only a very small minority of men in my family have successful marriages that include good relationships with their children. Even if they do have better relationships than when I was younger. They're strained. And I realized that it was not
Basically, they're
me.
dusty. Basically,
Right.
they're dusty.
And I thought there was something wrong with me because I didn't have any interest in the Dusties. I thought I was all these things that these men said about me. And they would call me all these names because I wasn't interested in them. They'd be like, oh, you talked to such and such, the white boy. I'm like, because he actually asked me out on a date instead of suggesting that we hook up in the public soup of a freaking hot tub before never speaking to me again. So of course I did. He actually, I just went through my life and I thought when I first found all this stuff that I was a WS and I needed therapy and something was wrong with me. But I'm like, if I don't care what ethnicity they are, if non-Black men will ask me on a better date for a relationship hookup, like a one night stand, I'll get a better date than I do with my own community.
White men are less vulgar, honestly.
Right.
Everything, like I said earlier, is about that dick with Black men.
But you know what? The majority of women on this earth don't even have an orgasm from penetration. So who cares about your BBC? Really? BBC is a channel I flip on when I want to watch Torchwood or Doctor Who. If I wanted, I'm serious. I'm serious. And so I thought I was the only Black woman who felt like this. I would try and talk to other Black women. And a close friend of mine, she would be like, well, you know, yeah, we do have these problems, but I want a Black kid. And I said this to her. And this is when I realized.
Motherfuckers say that shit.
It's like those people who say I have a mixed kid. And she was like, no, that's not the same. I'm like, it literally is. I said, okay, well, if you want a Black kid so bad, why would you have a Black kid with a dude who cheated on you with women you know to the point where you wanted to take your own life because you felt like you were worthless? A Black kid is worth that? You're going to pass that trauma onto your Black kid?
That's exactly
Or can you just go get a sperm donor, have your Black kid, and then raise them outside of Blackistan? And then when I realized...
That's exactly what they're going to do. They know that they're going to pass those traumas onto those kids, and they don't give a fuck. Having a Black kid is more important than anything. You might even get a son. You know, why not do it if you're going to get that prized possession called an ashy ass son? Why the fuck not?
Because we have been trained to be masochistic breeders. And it was only until I realized that masochism is something that comes from being hardworking and persevering. And it has been perverted to masochism from the constant abuse that we experience. I said, screw that. Why don't I go and invest my time and energy in the people who will invest time and energy with me? I cannot go anywhere with my Brad without Tyrone, Dustavius, and Travion mad dogging us. And you know what he does? Just squeezes my booty a couple extra times to make it sing. Because you know what? If y'all wanted to be with me, you would have come to me as a grown man and asked me out instead of trying to shame me into being with you. And if I did that to these nakers, they would feel some type of way. And that's why I just said, screw it. You guys don't respect me. You are sadistic narcissists who are addicted to patriarchy and abuse. You reject everything that involves respecting women and children. You reject the old religion where we were both equal, where you were equal, not just under the faith, but under the law, we were equal.
Yeah.
In favor of us all being colonized slaves. Why was that? Because it wasn't, I don't know if it was all of them, but it was enough of them who accepted the demonic nature. And this is the last thing I want to leave my younger sisters with. If you go and you look at African traditional religion, and Africa is a continent, not a country, don't come for me. You look at the story of the creation of man, and all you see is the first half of them telling women, oh, Shun, we don't need your help. We don't need water. We're going to make men out of fire. We're going to make men out of ice. We're going to make men out of all these things. But until they relented and respected the wisdom of women, man did not exist. And you can see from that original root creation story how much they resent the creator endowing us. The original, the source chose us to be the blueprint, and they're jealous. And when I realized, I'm like, so you want to call my dude all these names, talk about how he's cave this and cave that, but he respects the source more than you do. So who's the primitive one?
Well, I'm getting ready to latch on to something you said, and then I'm going to drag. First, child support, please ignore Dusties when you're with your bread. They are of no consequence. They can sit there and look crazy as fuck all they want to. And on to my next point and drag. Dusties, nobody gives a fuck what you think. We just sat here and heard child support say all the stuff that you think, and you're trying to keep people programmed and so on and so forth. Your opinion doesn't matter. Why doesn't it matter? Because you can't even control your own penis, your own resources, your own community. You have none of that. Until you're able to sit at the grown folks' table, you can take your opinion as if it were a dildo, spit on it, and put it right up your ass. Nobody's interested in what you think. Nobody cares what your preferences are. Nobody cares what you're going to do next, as long as you're not going to do it around us. As far as these mugshot Dusties busting up the jails and also getting out of jail and getting right in front of the microphone, and y'all mammies taking your ass over there, you ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You tonight, because I'm sure he's going to go live, are going to sit up under somebody that has an inmate number and a mugshot from yesterday, giving a fuck about what he thinks. You bitches are pathetic. Then after that, you're going to cap off your Sunday in front of a bacon-faced motherfucker that also is not checking for you, because he's checking for other bacon faces, if you get what I'm saying. Point blank, period. Why does everybody that you guys idolize either have a mugshot, a prison record, child support in arrears, a divorce, a bankruptcy? Why? And this is supposed to be the best and the brightest. This is your high value Dusties. That's the best you're going to be able to do. And to kick it off, your Dusty gets everything that he holds dear from my group. Yes, your men, if they work, are on our husband's payroll. So please know, nothing that you do, nothing that you say, nothing that you think matters to us. Do yourself a favor and try not to get a mugshot this weekend. Why? Because today is Saturday and you won't have court until Monday, until they feel like it. Okay? You don't, the public defenders are not going to come and help you out. You are trash. You and your handmaidens are trash. I hope I said that in the King's English so you can understand. Don't offer your opinions to us. Please. No one gives a fuck. You can't even afford a 4 for $4. Okay? Get the fuck off of these entitlement programs and go build something for your mammies. They're desperate. They're pleading for you to build them something. And I want you to keep them busy so they can stay the fuck from around us. I'll see y'all in the Discord.